Okay, so back in July 2023, Mark Zuckerberg and Meta, they did something that looked completely impossible. They dropped a new app, Threads, and man, it just exploded. I mean, we'd never seen anything like it. Get this, 100 million users in 5 days. Just to put that into perspective for you, that is way faster than ChatGPT, faster than TikTok. I mean, it was literally the fastest growing app in history. Everyone in tech was like, yep, that's it. That's the Twitter killer. But then, oh man, reality hit, and it hit hard.
Just 2 weeks later, a staggering 80% of those users, poof, gone. Daily active users just tanked. And the time people were spending on the app, it went from a pretty solid 20 minutes a day down to like 3. So what happened? How does the biggest launch in history turn into a total ghost town overnight? Well, it's because Meta walked right into a classic, and I mean lethal, marketing trap.
And that trap, that's the villain of our story today. It's called reactive positioning. Basically, it's when your whole pitch, your entire reason for existing, is just pointing at your competitor and saying what you're not. And here's the problem with that. If that's your strategy, you've already lost. You know why? Because you've just let your competitor set all the rules of the game. You've made yourself a side character in their story. So today, we're going to break down this failure and show you why it is a guaranteed recipe for disaster. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of how Meta fell for this. See, when your whole foundation is just, we're the untwitter, you're not actually solving a real problem for anyone. You're just kind of borrowing their angry customers for a little while. The truly great companies, they never, ever do this. I mean, think about Airbnb. Did they call themselves the hotel without the front desk? No way. They invented a whole new category, belong anywhere. They wrote their own story. All right, let's look at exactly how Threads positioned itself. It basically came down to 3 main things. It was going to be a happier place, away from all the toxicity. It was a more accessible option for the masses, and it had a future in the open web. Are you seeing the pattern here? Every single pitch was just a direct shot at Twitter. It was all about what they weren't. And this is where it all went wrong. Because by saying, hey, we're the new Twitter, Meta basically invited everyone to compare them feature for feature. And what happens then? Well, every single thing that was missing, and a lot was missing, from search to DMs to trending topics, it just made the app feel broken. It felt unfinished from day one. Yeah, this quote really nails the early user experience. It's like, sure, you could post, but with no real way to find people or topics, no DMs, who are you even talking to? It was just this weird limbo where it felt almost like Twitter, which made it disappointing, but it was also different enough to just be, well, confusing. Okay, so how do you fix this? How do you avoid falling into the same trap? It's simple, really. You have to stop being obsessed with your competitors and start being obsessed with your customers. And there's a really simple, but honestly brutally effective test you can use to make sure you're on the right track. So let me just ask you this, straight up. Can you explain your product's value in 30 seconds without mentioning a competitor? Go on, try it. Because if your pitch starts with, well, we're like Slack, but better, or we're like Salesforce, but cheaper, you don't actually have a position. All you have is a reaction. And this right here, this is the golden rule. You see, strong positioning isn't just some fluffy marketing slogan. It's a discipline. It's about forcing yourself to answer the one question every single buyer has on their mind. What's in it for me? And if your answer is full of tech jargon and buzzwords, you've already lost. If you want to build a real sustainable advantage, a real moat around your business, your positioning has to stand on these 3 pillars. Number 1, you're solving a problem the market actually cares about. Number 2, you know exactly who your buyer is. And number 3, your differentiation, the thing that makes you special, actually means something to that buyer. All right, let's make this super practical. This isn't just theory. We're talking about a tactical playbook, a formula you can literally use today to build a message that actually gets people excited. Okay, check out the difference here. It's night and day. Imagine I'm pitching my product. Here's the weak, reactive version. So our new platform is a decentralized, chronological microblogging app that, doesn't have the toxic algorithm or rate limits of our competitor. Fail. You just named your competitor. Now here's the lethal pitch. For digital creators who are just exhausted by algorithms burying their content, our platform is a community hub that guarantees 100% organic reach to your followers. Boom, you're hired. See the difference? One is reaction, the other is a solution. Now here's the formula to get you there. It's a super simple fill-in-the-blank sentence that forces you to be crystal clear. It goes like this. For a specific target who has a specific need, our product is a category that delivers a specific benefit.
It's that simple. It forces you to lead with the problem, not the features.
Let's put it into practice. A lot of marketing copy sounds like this. We provide AI-powered threat detection with advanced behavioral analytics. Okay, what does that even mean? It's just a bunch of features. But with strong positioning, it becomes this. For mid-size enterprise security leaders who are struggling to detect threats quickly, we reduce their operational risk by automating investigation workflows. Now that is powerful. You've named the person, you've named their pain, and you've named the result. You're not just selling software, you're selling an outcome.
Okay, time for the final reality check. This is where the rubber meets the road for you and your business. Let's put your own product to the test right now.
Seriously, I want you to do this. Pause this if you have to. Pull up your company's homepage. Look at the very first thing a visitor sees, that main headline. Does it immediately answer the question, what's in it for me? Be honest. If the answer is no, or if it's even a little fuzzy, your positioning is broken, and I guarantee you, you are losing customers right now because of it.
At the end of the day, the lesson from Threads is incredibly clear. You can have all the money in the world, the best engineers, a massive built-in user base. None of it matters. You cannot outrun bad positioning. It's just that simple. So please, stop letting your competitors live rent-free in your head and dictate your strategy. So I'll leave you with one last question to chew on. We've all heard them, right? Those lazy startup pitches. We're the Uber for dog walkers. We're the Airbnb for parking spots. So, what's the absolute worst, most ridiculous, we're the X of Y pitch you've ever heard? Seriously, I'd love to know. It's a funny and maybe a little painful reminder of why getting this stuff right is so important.